The call to worship. In Philippians 4, verses 4 to 9, it is written, "Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition and thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all human understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." And so we gallop into this place, rejoicing, giving thanks, rejoicing in the Lord always. And again, I say, rejoice, 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 rejoice. And so it is.
Good morning. My name is Philomena, and I welcome you to our Adventure in Faith Week 3 Mental Emotional Sunday. This year's Adventure in Faith is titled Spiritual Boot Camp, a time to stretch our comfort bands to greatness. We are Verity Centre for Better Living, a new thought teaching ministry founded by the Reverend Evan Reed. We are also a member of the Universal Foundation for Better Living, Namaskar. If you are joining us for the first time, it is my pleasure to greet you on behalf of the Board of Directors and our members. It is my hope that something said or done today will make a positive difference in your life. Please know that we accept you, respect you, and appreciate you. If you have any questions or need to find out more about the center, please visit our website, veritycentre.org, or follow us on Facebook. We thank you for spending this time with us. Our vision is creating and maintaining a spiritually based community that facilitates enlightenment, enrichment, and empowerment. Our mission is offering spiritually based principles and techniques to those who are seeking to live healthier, happier, and more prosperous lives. Our motto is always verifying the truth, vivifying the spirit, and vitalizing the soul. We offer a full range of sacerdotal services, classes, and spiritual coaching. There are also opportunities to be an active part of this community. Please visit our website or contact the office. Please affirm the opening statement with me. It is on your screen. I am the thinker of my thoughts. My thoughts build my life experience. Today, I focus my thoughts on love, peace, and joy. All is well in my world. Please turn to the page after the center page of your daily inspiration publication, and I will be reading core beliefs 4 to 6 inclusive. They are also on your screen. We believe with Jesus that our experiences are the reflections of our beliefs, and therefore the key to happy and successful living is right thinking followed by right action. We believe with Jesus that the basis for right thinking is love of God and all that is good in ourselves and others. We believe that learning to listen to the whispering of the still small voice within us will ensure that we are guided into right action. And so it is. Today's inspirational reading is found on page 35, and it will be read by Sabine of the Sunday School.
Good morning. FYI, oftentimes when we are faced with the need to make a decision about something for which we believe we do not have enough information, we consult others for their opinion and advice. Stop. For your information, FYI, There is a source of direction and guidance that never fails. That source is the Christ within us. And he needed wisdom. God gave Solomon wisdom and very great insight, and a breadth of understanding as measureless as the sand on the seashore. 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 29. When he needed peace of mind, David affirmed, "In peace I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." Psalm chapter 4, verse 8. For knowledge, his prayer was, "Teach me knowledge and good judgment, for I trust your commands." Psalm chapter 119, verse 66. When the next opportunity presents itself, make life-changing decisions, go to God. FYI, you could not be misled. The scripture is taken by John chapter 14, verse 26. But the Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, it will teach you all things. And so it is.
Thank you, Sabine. Please listen to the announcements. The daily call to love meditation continues from Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. The link is in the Verity News You Can Use email. To receive the phone-in information, please leave a message at 416-240-1956. Sunday meditation. Please join us on Sundays for meditation from 10:35 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Welcome to Verity's Creative Zone, where you get a chance to display your creativity. Send in pictures, paintings, or images that bring you joy. Send in a creative video, 3 minutes max, of you showing your skills, or send in ideas which we can turn into an event for your Verity community. Send them into verityvibe1@gmail.com, and they will be displayed during fellowship or at a special event coming soon. Who are the people in your neighborhood? Continue to submit pictures of your past or present, along with some of the following facts: hobbies, occupation, or interests, so we can recognize, celebrate, and have fun with you. We are also asking you to send in your birth date or anniversary date, with or without a picture, so we do not miss your special event during the month. Please also send this to verityvibe1@gmail.com. These will be acknowledged at the beginning of each month. There are 36 copies of the Daily Inspiration for Healing booklet available in the office. The cost is $10 each. Please call or email the office to purchase a booklet. Fall spiritual development classes begin on Monday. On Mondays, they will be held at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Let us be there. Let There Be Light by Elizabeth Sand Turner. Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. or 6:30 p.m., You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And Thursdays at 6:30 p.m., Basic Truth Principles 1 and 11, and the book is held by various authors. Please register today. Registration information is in the Verity News email. Adventure in Faith continues. Next Sunday, which is week number 4, the focus is physical and the color is red. The book is Spiritual Fitness by Caroline Reynolds. Please read workout number 2, Soul Detox, and wear the color red. Wednesday breakaways, Living the Bible, will continue weekly at 7 p.m. The scripture this week is Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Please bring any questions you may have from the Sunday lesson. And lastly, Verity's Circle of Love group is hosting a social get-together in the Verity car park on Saturday, October 2nd at 4 p.m. Food and drink will be provided. In keeping with COVID-related stipulations, we have to restrict the number of attendees. We therefore can only issue spaces to 19 people. If you are interested, please call or email the office to register. It will be on a first-come, first-served basis. And this ends the news. Let us now prepare for a moment of conscious communion with our source and supply.
God is all there is. There is nothing more. There is nothing here that wasn't here before. He is earth and sky, land and sea, the winner in every victory. God is all there is. There is nothing more.
Let us now come to this time when we simply take a pause and allow ourselves to become comfortable with that reality that God is indeed all there is. God is indeed all we will ever need. God is all there is. And let us allow that reality to just seep into our mental, emotional state, to saturate all aspects of our lives, that God is all that there is. God is. God is. And let us sweep out any place that we have created for anything else except God. Let us sweep it out. Let us get rid of it, knowing that God is all there is. As we take a ride through every aspect of our lives, we simply anoint it with that fact that God is all there is. If there are awkward conversations that need to be had, God is all there is. If there is an uncomfortable situation, we send forth the fact that God is all that there is. Emerging global situations come up on our screens and we say, God is all there is. God is all there is. In every situation, God is. God is. God is. And no matter what ifs, buts, or maybes come into our minds, we simply stop it with God is all there is. God is all there is. But this God is, and that God is, anything that comes across our screen this morning, we simply say, with all our muscles, our faith muscles flexed, God is all there is. And with every breath we take, we're triumphant. We know that all is ours, the power is ours, because God is all there is. What a mighty consolation this morning. What a beautiful place for us to sit in as we just simply bask and bathe in this realization. God is all there is. And knowing the omnipresent, omnipotent power of God, we send for that spirit to every area, every place, knowing that there are no limitations. Geography does not prevent God's power from working. God is all there is. And so it is. So it is. Amen.
God is all there is. There is only one. In our hearts today, we let his kingdom come. He is light and life, joy and peace, creator of you and me. God is all there is. There is nothing more. God is all there is. There is nothing more.
The thought for the week is from Shadows in the Dance by Reverend Evan Reed. It is also on your screen. Remember, you are the absolute ruler of your mind. You alone have the ability to alter your thoughts and adjust your feelings. Learn day to day to see the outer differently by controlling the images that produce it. We will now have a musical selection by Voices of Praise.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that can go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Come on now, because I'm happy, clap along, if you feel like a moving out. Because I'm happy, clap along, if you feel like happiness is a true thought. Because I'm clap along, if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along, if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why, because I'm clap along if you feel like a moving out of the mind. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Come on now, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. My level's too high, so bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. I said can't nothing bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. My level's too high, so bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a broken down room. Because I'm clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Thank you, Voices of Praise. Thank you, Richard. Today's lesson, Minding Your Language, will be given by Renee Richards.
Well, good morning, family. How are we doing? If you're happy, please write in the chat that you're happy today, because I'm happy. We're wearing mellow yellow. Are you wearing your yellow? Someone tell me if people are wearing yellow today, because I need to see it in the chat. Let's go. Happy. Okay, very happy. Thank you. Somebody said they're happy. It's not just me. Are you happy? Are you happy? It's a part of the lesson. You better answer. Good morning. Good morning. If you're in the chat also, outside of saying that you're happy, are you excited for today? The sun is shining. You got a smile on your face. It is a beautiful day. Please write that as well. Say hi to someone in the chat as well. Like, good morning, good afternoon. Well, it's still morning, so I'm okay to say morning, right? Okay. All right. While you guys do that, let's get into this. We are in week 3 of our adventure in faith, our spiritual boot camp. So I hope the last 2 weeks of all the work that we've been doing so far has you thinking, oh, I got this under control. Because this week, as one of my favorite friends would say, baby, we got some work to do. This week is all about our mental and emotional unfoldment, or our boot camp breakdown, because everyone thinks, oh, I got it under control. My mind's right. I'm thinking the right words. I'm feeling it. But are you really feeling it? And if you read the chapter, which is chapter 3 in our book, Spiritual Fitness by Carolyn Reynolds, you'll realize that it's a little more detailed than what we thought it was in the beginning. So Let's go. The scriptural reference for today was Romans chapter 12, verse 2, and I'm reading the New Revised Version. And it says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." Now, and I love this, so thank you, Ian, for saying it, because it just adds to the flow. What you say you are is what you are. God is, period. Do not put anything else after that, because that which is God is really anything else. If you say God is whole, God is beautiful, any other word, you are putting, if you will, a limitation on what the wholeness of God is, which is absolute good, this evenly present energy that is all around us, within us, moving through us. And it's important that we recognize that that's a part of our mental, emotional work that we are doing, because the thoughts that we produce will manifest after its kind. We've heard this before. You see, this stuff that we're talking about today and what we've heard over the last couple of weeks is nothing new. It's how we are shifting our thought process around it, our perspective. If you will, look at a clock. It has, 12 main hours, and then there are 60 seconds or 60 minutes in each of those moments to make that. Well, what are you holding in those minutes? 60 seconds can prove valuable in this lesson. Do not be conformed to this world. Now, we're not talking just the physical world. We're talking about the mental one that you're holding in your mind. Because remember, we live up in here, whatever this here is. How we view ourselves and how we view others really will dictate the language or the image that we are portraying. Now, I'm going to say something and I might step on some toes, but this is what this adventure is all about, is to step on toes, to realize I got to change. I got to do this boot camp work. You can't just say, oh, I'm doing it, because you're giving lip service to something that has no substance, right? Today, I am challenging you, and I'm using the word in a way that is meaningful. I'm challenging you today to not just look at the words that you're using, but also look at how you are emotionally and physically showing up, because that will determine where you really are in mind. And we'll go to the book with that in a moment. The idea that we are mentally and emotionally pulling means that we're going to the core, because we know that it is our thinking plus our feelings which will determine our words, actions, and reactions. Oh, if you don't recall what that is, that's our 5 righteous siblings. You remember? Right thinking, right feeling, right words, right actions, right reactions. So we're working on the thinking and the feelings, because everything is stored up somewhere within us. And when we recognize a word or hear a word, it draws up a picture in our mind that we've held for so long, that comes out, and we're like, oh, I'm happy, or I'm sad, or I'm this, or I'm that. That projects out there even before you even open your mouth, believe it or not. Minding our language is not just about the words and the power behind it, because the power is there. It's also the feeling, the emitting that we are giving through our energy. For example, and if you have recognized this either for you or for someone else, you could put that in the chat today. Here's what I want you to recognize. There have been many times when you are in a room, a crowd of people, and all of a sudden the energy shifts. Something happens and you're like, wow, who's that person that came in the room? I need to know who this is. You feel this boldness, this vibrancy, like everybody has to know who that was. Well, that's what happens to us all the time, family. When we are either in our very high state of happy, or in that realm that we like to call fear or anger or disappointment, your energy emits before you even had to say hi, right? Your energy behind all that you're doing will cause you to either say, yay, yay, I'm in for all of it and I'm excited for what life has to bring, or you're going to say, yay, and rather hide in a corner. Here's something that matters. And this came from page 47 of the book. It says, words are the sounds and the symbols you use to capture and convey your thoughts and feelings. All it is letters strung together to make up words or phrases that we collect, and either we give it a positive, bold meaning, or we give it a negative one. The word power, for some, it means strength and boldness and stability. And for some, it just means that I have a backbone. I have a spine. I can walk. I can talk. But the image behind it either is a positive one that says, yes, I can and I will and I have, or I have the power, but I gave it to someone else. Why? Because my words spoke before me. My energy spoke before me. I know I've said a little bit, and it might be a whole mouthful, but I want to break this down a little bit more. The words are the sounds and symbols that we use. It comes from here, our throat, our power center. How are you using your power center? Are you saying, oh, woe is me again? It's been a sucky day and it's going to be sucky some more. Well, did you just not emit that into the energy? So the vibration is what you put out, you receive. We've heard this before. What you think about, you bring about. What you give into the energy in the universe is what's going to come back to you. May not be today. It may not be in a couple of hours after we've had our fellowship. It might be down the road sometime this week, and you're like, well, why did this happen? And I'm telling you, it's not in just the moment. Go back to the core of everything. Go back and think, what was I holding on to? And for the record, it may not be from today. You may have to go back about 10, 20 years and think, Lord, I have a lot of stuff to clean out. And yes, we do. I say we because I too realize that there are words and emphasis that I've placed in my heart that has to move. That's why this is so great that today is about minding our language. It also says on page 47 of the book that language also helps to fulfill your need to give meaning to your world by enabling you to define it. So question, family, how are you defining your world today? Did you actually write that you're happy? Did you say, thank you, God, I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic, and I'm ready to enjoy today? Or you're just like, I'm so happy that I had a cup of coffee and I could just hang on for the next few moments until it's time to get some food in. Yes, this is the conversation we keep having. We think it's about what we're saying to other people to sound good. And I'm saying this with love. The lip service we give determines what's really happening in here. It's in the core of us. Now, in the whole concept of our conversation today, and I'm hoping that I'm having a conversation with somebody. Maybe it's with myself. That's okay. But what matters is that when we open our mouth to speak to someone, we're actually saying, this is who I am and this is what I think or want. Also found on page 47. Page 47 was a great page in the book. This is who I am. This is what I'm thinking or wanting. So if I say any one of you, yes, I'm happy. Am I really happy? Am I showing that buoyancy and joy? Do I have a smile on my face? Are my eyes bright and glistening? Or am I saying, yeah, I'm happy? And in the back of your head, you're like, please just hurry up and go because I'd rather just go back in the blanket. We're doing this over Zoom and it doesn't matter. Family, this concept that we're going through for this week about our mental and emotional, it's not just in the word. It's in our language. It's in the emotions that we've held up for so long that the dam is finally breaking and it's time to let it go. Go ahead and say that to yourself. I'm ready to let it go. Let the baggage go. You can't take it to where we need to be going right now. When we talk about who I am, remember in Exodus, it said in Exodus chapter 3, verse 14, God was talking to Moses and he said, I am who I am. So the question I have for you is, what are you putting after your I am? Who do you say you are? Because I can tell you, I am happy. Pharrell's song always makes me happy. But I am happy from here in my whole heart. The outside is what it is. I'm happy for me because I could see my preferred future. I'm happy because I know that everything that is happening is by the grace of God to move and allow me to grow, learn, expand, and love in an unconditional, unfolding way. And I know that's the same for you. Do not think that, oh, I am, I'm supposed to be poor or desolate. Let's work on these words. I said that already. Words add power to the language that emits into the energies of this universe that attracts what you are bringing in. Think about it. In our attributes of God, it says God is power, the authority and dominion. What you think about, you are physically bringing about. That idea of abundance that you're holding, but yet the picture ends up being something that's distorted because you are allowing old concept, old feelings to link with it. Well, what's going to happen to the substance? The physical manifestation. We've heard many people say, oh, I'm broke. Oh, I don't have the money. Actually, you do. You have the money. You're just not tapping into your other channels of it. You're expecting it to come from the one way that you've always known, but there's about 7 others saying, hi, hello, I'm right here. Can you open up so I'm coming through. We say, God, please help me. Well, are you really allowing God to help? Or are you just doing, again, this lip service to sound good around others? This concept that we have today about minding our language is really about what are we holding here in our mind. And yes, we know our mind is universally large. We can't just say it is here in this brain concept because it's everywhere. It's all of us. Every cell in our body is part of our mind. So what are we claiming about ourselves, of our body? Are we saying that we're health? The complete wholeness, vibration, and vitality and energy of God? Or are you just saying, I'm healthy, but yet I have to take this pill for my blood pressure, and I have to take this vitamin because the doctors say I have to take this, or I have to have this machine because I can't function without it? Are you claiming your wholeness today, family? Minding our language is allowing us to truly stand on our word of who and whose I am. Maybe not for you. I could be wrong. Family. As it says on page 47, every time we open our mouth to speak to someone, we are saying who I am and this is what I want. Are you being honest in those words? Are you being honest and saying, yes, I am happy, or yes, I would like that slice of cake? Or are you saying, yeah, it's okay, I don't want it, but really your belly is grumbling all kind of words saying, please feed me? It's truth. And hopefully it's resonating somewhere along the line that we got to change how we are showing up for ourselves. And I'm going to say this with the biggest emphasis, in authenticity. Because I'm telling you, we say a lot of things, but we are not being authentic. We try to make it sound nice for other people just so that we can save face because we really don't want to be bothered. Or just say, someone invites you, for example, to go to the store. Hey, let me take you to the store. I'll let you know just now. Just say thank you, but no thank you. I'm okay. Can you say that honestly? Or are you just trying to coy the person because you want them to ask you, but you don't want them to ask you? Pick a side. You can't sit on the fence. I remember watching this movie, Amistad. It was a great movie. Please go and watch it. And in the movie, there's a specific scene that really brought the whole movie into perspective. There was a gentleman who was a slave who was being, extradited to England. And the lawyer said, I'm here to help you, but what we need to do is we should do this. And the translator, who had been freed, if you will, tried to, translate, but he looked at the lawyer and he was like, what? And the lawyer looked at him and said, say what I said. He should, just give up. And the translator said, I don't know how to translate the word should. A simple word. We should on ourselves way too much. I should do this today. I try this. I should do that. How about we just get rid of some of these words that we keep holding on as crutches from our abundant life? Put the word should on that list first, then put the word try. Because we tried to do something. I'm going to try and get to that activity today. But you know in the back of your head, you really aren't going to do it. Well, then just don't. Put it on the list for tomorrow and go focus on something else. Be honest with yourself in this journey, because the more you don't, the more you are losing oneself. You're depleting what you have to give to the universe, because the universe is waiting for you. God needs you to show up and show out with your gift to the world, not hide it under a bushel. And you can find that in the New Testament. So let's go with the phrase, accept responsibility, on page 51. Are you accepting a responsibility with what you're thinking and feeling today, or in the course of your life? Because if you aren't, I am here to give you your wake-up pill. You need to. It is destined for you to recognize that you are the only person that could change your life by what you are thinking about of yourself to the feelings that you have of oneself. Right? It says in Matthew chapter 15, verse 18, and I'm reading the King James Version. It says, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. Or in other words, it's not what goes in that defiles, it's what's coming out. So let's talk about it. The best word that I could give you that might be like, oh, wow, is the word gossip. Ooh. Gossip. We think gossip is talking negatively about someone. And yes, it is. But are you gossiping about yourself, saying, you know, I'm not that smart. I'm not worthy to get that promotion or that car today. I'm not bright. The idea of what you were saying about yourself that you finally emit, and I'm not talking about other people, I'm talking about us, you, me. It's not what goes in that I hear, it's what I'm saying to myself that's coming out. And how we use the words to string to make sentences or paragraphs or essays is what is being felt or received to other people. That's why some people don't want to come near you. Why? Because you might be saying, yes, I love you, I can't wait to see you, but yet the energy you sent through the phone is like, please don't, because I can't stand your face. I'm being a little direct here. But the idea behind this language has so much to it. It is imperative that we get this today. We can't go on in the rest of this boot camp if we don't understand that the language that I use, that I'm holding, that I've had since I started junior or senior kindergarten to this very day, impacts how we are living our lives. And believe it or not, the emotions and the feelings and the memories from way back when is part of the catalyst to be where we are right now. So the question is, are you true to yourself? Are you saying things of value about yourself, or are you just saying it for the other person, saying, you know, I love you. Oh gosh, it's so good to see you. I can't wait to be around you. Are you even saying that to yourself? Can you look in the mirror right now at yourself and say, I love you. I can't wait to hang out with you today. Let's go do something fantastic. It's all what we are holding about ourselves in our mind. And it's time to now disassemble that. It's time to break that crystal down. We've crystallized so much about a word because we've held it with a feeling or an old picture. Because remember, life gives us pictures. And we capture them and we call them memories. And then we take those memories, and you love how I do this, we put it in that subconscious storing file cabinet, and we give it a label saying happy or sad or frustrated or poor. Well, hopefully the word poor just left your vocabulary as well. You put it on the trash list. We're not poor. We're just disconnected from our true source where we are abundantly supplied. We're disconnected to who and whose we are because we think it's all about what I see and touch physically. No, it starts with spirit first. As God said to Moses, and I'm going back again to Exodus, I am who I am. Thus you shall say to the Israelites, the I am sent me to you. It's not about the gifts that you give one person to make them love you. Are you showing them kindness and compassion? When was the last time you did something so wonderful for another that they just couldn't help it but wanted to share that with others? The good gossip, for example, it's like, that person was so good to me. They gave me a gift card for a cup of coffee and I have extra. Do you want one? When was the last time you did something like that? I challenge you this week not to just mind your language. Do something that pays it forward in a loving way that when you complete it, the freeness comes through your heart, into your soul, and into your life expression. I like this from the book of Maccabees, the fourth book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verses 3-4. It says, if then it is evident that reason rules over those emotions that hinder self-control, namely like gluttony and lust, it is also clear that it masters the emotions that hinder one from justice, such as malice, and those that stand in the way of courage, namely anger, fear, and pain. Or in other words, if I allow the words with the pictures linked to it being anger, fear, and pain to control me in terms of my emotions, my thoughts, then what's going to happen is that the justice, the freedom to enjoy life in a loving way, the openness that we're supposed to have, we're ending up being only one-sided. We're going to go back to that dual-mindedness that we've held. Instead of seeing it as one in spirit, we're going to see the duality of the human, which is I must have, it's me, it's mine, and it's greed. It's that gluttony, it's that lust. I can't give it to you, it's for me only. Look at the language or the body language I had with that. It's me, it's mine. That's not the way how it's supposed to be. It's like, I want to share. Our language speaks louder from our visual or our facial expressions more so than it is from the words that come out of our mouth. Some people have, and I will be the first to admit this, there have been times when I know I'm a happy person, but I will say I'm happy, but the energy that I've emitted, whoo. Pepe Le Pew had nothing on me those times because I was emitting something that was old and funky that needed to get out. And I had to be challenged by someone, and they said, so Renee, you're happy? So why isn't anybody wanting to hang out with you? Because your energy, your face, oof. I've heard it all my life. Oh, you wear your heart on your sleeve. Your emotions are on your sleeves. Okay, it's a badge of honor. Because at least you know I'm coming from my authenticness and not from a place of, oh, I'm here to put on a mask. We're not here for masks anymore. You could put them in the garbage bin as well. You have to accept responsibility in this journey and part of this work that we're doing in this boot camp, because it's not for, I could tell you to do it, but I could tell you wouldn't. You want to do it for yourself. You have to feel it in the core and have order. And what a beautiful month this is. It is order. Divine order at that. I can't be happy and free in my fullness if all of my spiritual gifts are not in flow. And it starts with order. And remember where order is, it's behind your belly button, just at the back there. And how do you know that? Because when something's not right, don't you always feel like your stomach is just upset? It's like, no, something ain't right. It's because you're not being true to you. And that also comes through in your language, the body language, your verbal language, the energy, because it's all energy. I like this part also from the book, page 53. It says, what people are saying without listening to the actual words they are speaking. Whew. What people are saying without listening to the actual words you're speaking. In other words, you cannot take in the whole picture or the message in one sitting. Think about it. For some of you who love a movie, the very first movie that it really made sense to me was the movie Avatar, or most recently Black Panther. Great imagery. You love the scenes, the action. It was like it's an all Black cast or African American cast, and you're like, wow, I want to go and see it again. But didn't you notice that when you went the second, third, maybe the fourth time that you've seen it, that everything that you didn't see, you saw something else? Because your mind was now open to see not just the first layer of the vision and the music and to be a part of the flow that said, yes, I was one of the first ones. You started to take it in and go down another level. You had to go to a soul level. So it's going to take a little bit to not just see the words or hear the words that are being said. What is the body language? What's the energy? What's the flow that's coming through? Go down another level. What does that mean about me? How am I connected to the story? What was the significant point that had to come through that resonated that I have to now work with? Because that's what it's supposed to do. And it doesn't have to just be movies. It could be with books. It could be with just walking with nature. You looked at a tree or a certain leaf and you're like, wow, it's so beautiful and green. And then you notice it's not just green, it's got a hint of yellow. Maybe there's a little vibrancy of a brown in there. But you had to take a second look. Well, I'm going to tell you, don't do just a second look. Do a third, fourth, and a fifth if you have to. Look at it from different angles, because every angle that you see adds value and something beautiful to behold, to be true, that adds to your language. It adds to the wholeness and the power of who and whose you are. And I had to make sure I say that. You can't take a message in all at once. This message that you're watching today or partaking of, I know that there's more to come through. So I invite you to wait a couple days, come back and watch it, and then join us on Wednesday when we do our breakout. Because I bet you something else resonated for you that you didn't recognize before. Read the chapter or do the exercises that are at the back of pages 66 and 67 for this particular chapter. I challenge you to be mindful of not just the words you're using, because, we've done that complain challenge where it's like, I'm not going to complain for 24 hours. And as soon as you said that, you stub your toe and you're like, this darn chair. Didn't you just break the whole thing? Family, how we show up is not just from the physical form. It's what we give by our energy. It is what we give in our language and our wholeness that allows people to be drawn and attracted to you, that want to walk alongside you in this journey called life and say, yes, I could be around this person, or as my friends would say, I'm rocking with you because you have something impactful. So do you. You have something better than anything else, and it's time for it to come through. But what you need to do is get rid of the old. You can't bring that baggage with you. Minding your language is really putting a filter on your mouth or a filter into your brain and say, I will only speak words of love, kindness, and truth. I will be authentic to me fully and completely. I can't do it alone. So when it says do not be conformed to this world, it's not just saying be conformed by the outside elements. Yes, we know we are in a different time frame than, say, a couple years ago. We've had a lot of shifts. But right now, the goal is to recognize who you are from here, from a core soul level, your authentic I am identity, and bring that forth. You do so by minding your words. You do so by being able to channel the right feelings and emitting that into the energy, because you attract everything. Like attracts like. That's why we're here. We're a group. We are one. We attracted each other. Why did we choose Verity? Because there was something special about Verity and the leader that we have that brought it forth for us to say, wait, I need to check myself. It's time for us to claim that moment and say, I found me. Now I need to bring that into manifestation a little bit clearer than we did a moment ago. Do not be conformed to the outside world's thinking that you must always live by watching what the news say. We've heard it many times before saying, don't watch the news. I really do mean don't watch the news. Go outside and enjoy the sunshine. Walk with nature and just be at peace. Get together with people if you can, even on a Zoom call, and just fellowship. Do you know that being here right now with each of you, and it is a joy to see all of you on the screen, bright in your yellows, smiling sweetly, trying to take notes. It is a beautiful thing to know that we are still connected, and I'm pretty certain you could feel the energy emitting through me into your house right now. Or maybe it's on YouTube, I don't know. The idea that we are renewing our mind and seeing the wholeness that I am one with spirit in every form and faction of my life allows me to walk in my wholeness. So my life, my affairs, my world, the law now goes before me, and I could only get the best of the best. Why? Because I am an heir to the kingdom. That wholeness, that boldness is here now. Truthfully, this week, for many of you, know that it's been a challenge, and I am so thankful that I had this lesson to keep my mind working, because what everything, and many teachers will say this, you're working the lessons. It's not just you. We practice this thing, and I'm practicing it, because yeah, I could have been like, forget it, Rev, you do the lesson. I could hide under a blanket, but I'm telling you, I made a commitment, and I said, I am speaking my truth. This is it for me. I have to walk tall. I can't be a teacher to any of you and say, oh yes, if something's going on, keep going. But yet I'm the one hiding under a blanket and not coming outside. Right? You got to go forward. You got to own it. And that is what I'm doing. This whole week, I've learned to try to find new words of saying, you know, I love that person. I may not agree with how they moved, but I love them because they're being themselves. When I hear someone say, oh, I'm happy, I'm a happy person, but I'm watching all your actions. I'm watching your body language, and it says something different. Today, this day, moving into the rest of this unfoldment of our mind, your language, minding your power behind the language, our thoughts and feelings, being mental and emotionally challenged, or the opportunity to shift is now being called on us to think differently. I encourage you to be very mindful of the words that you use, and not just the words, but the power, the emphasis, the energy you put behind it. Are you coming happy? Or are you coming with this, yeah, I'm happy? Because I could hear a few people tell me, fix your face, Renee. You're not looking happy because I'm scowling. No, I just have my eyes closed and I'm happy. Tell yourself you're happy. Tell someone that you're happy right now. To the left of you, to the right of you, up or down, because, you know, we look like we're on the Brady Bunch with the different screens. Tell them you're happy. Because the more you say you're happy, the smile will end up showing up. The feelings will kind of move with you, and it's going to flow out of you in such a beautiful unfolding way. It is just like a flower blooming in this grand place called life. It says that we are encouraged to change our language. Think about this, and this is the last thing I'm going to say before I go. Notice that when millionaires are walking and talking, they don't just hang out with people who want to live in a dollar store type mindset. No. They hang out with other millionaires and billionaires because the language that they use is prosperous. Are you doing the same for you? Are you hanging out with people who are millionaires or millionaire minded to be prosperous? Or are you, yeah, I'm prosperous, but yet you're thinking, okay, if I take this here and move it to Paul, but to pay Peter, and I have no pennies, you are always abundantly supplied. I'm pretty certain you have a talent or a skill that you can use. Why aren't you using that to make a few coins for yourself to then go and get something else? Because remember, your energy brings something else and it flows back in and it comes out of you. So this week, as we go through the emotional dismemberment and we affirm the new with the I am, I encourage you to be whole, full, and complete. I encourage you to live your best life and to remember what you are thinking, you are feeling, that becomes your words, that comes from your power. Your vibration matters. It's just like I had said a long time ago about the center being God, and we are all on this spider web, and each connected point is one of us. And if we are high, the vibration is felt. And if we are low, we could feel it too, and that rattles the web. I need my vibration high so I could share it with the world, that I could draw and attract the abundance for me, and I see the same for you. This week, be kind to yourself with your words. Show up in the love, the emotion, and be honest with yourself saying, I am ABC. And if it's a negative, shift it. That's the goal this week. Do not be conformed by what you're holding old of yourself. Be transformed by the renewing that you are the best gift that God could give. Your light and your vibrancy, your wholeness is needed now more than ever, and it is time to shine. I love you. I thank you for your energy because that has moved me to be who I am. Namaste.
I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. Join me now. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. I got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. Goodbye doubt, I stay no longer with you. Goodbye fear, I stay no longer with you. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. Say goodbye doubt, goodbye doubt. Oh yeah, I stay no longer with you. Goodbye fear, I stay no longer with you. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. Lord, your name's so sweet. Yes, your name's so sweet now. Lord, your name's so sweet. Yes, your name's so sweet. Lord, your name's so sweet. Yes, your name's so sweet. Lord, your name's so sweet. Yes, your name. Here we go now. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ. One more time. Here we go. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today.
All right, family, before I go, here is the work to do this week. We're going to do it, and it's on page 67 from the book, number 6. It talks about doing a word bath, because I mentioned to you that we got to do some purging on these words. Look at the words, literally write them down on a piece of paper that you use regularly in your life about how you talk about yourself or maybe of others, even about your job. And if that's the case, then I invite you and I implore to you that you need to start doing a purge. Let it go down the drain. It's like liquid Drano. You got to get rid of it. And then replace it with words that are affirming and positive. words that have a boldness to impact your life and be resilient in your ways, in your walk, in your talk. Because what you say in the vibration, you feel it, you own it, you'll walk with your shoulders low, head held high, smile on your face, and going to the goal. God bless you. Have a phenomenal week.
Thank you, Renee. Oh my God. I'm going to say this, Rev Renee. You may want to work toward that. I think you are. That was a brilliant lesson. You were totally on point, and that is the best I've ever heard you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a great big thank you to everyone else. Voices of Praise and Richard. Oh, you're so uplifting. And of course, Ian, your meditation, Deborah, your meditation. All of these things come together to bring us something truly beautiful and wonderful. Grisha, your singing. Oh, beautiful as always. And who am I missing? Nobody. All right. So thank you all so very much. And now it's time in our service to give back of our good, to absolutely lift things so that we give of our good to make sure that this beautiful Center for Better Living is continually providing us with such incredible inspiration and gifts. So let us join together and say our offering blessing. You'll find it on your screen. Together, please. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. All is well, and so it is. Now, of course, there are a number of ways to give in this virtual world, so you can give by e-transfer. You send that to admin@veritycenter.org. Or, of course, you can go to Canada Helps, type in Verity Centre for Better Living, Inc., and be able to give your tithes and offerings that way. And we will always accept cash or checks. You can drop it off at the office, call first, or you can mail it in to Verity Centre for Better Living, 447 Vaughan Road in Toronto, M6C 2P as in Paul 4. Let us join together in consciousness as we bless this offering and also all of the prayer requests that have come in over the week. Please join with me now. There is one incredible creative force in the universe, and I call it God. It is infinite, eternal, and everywhere present, all-powerful. It is the energy of life, of love, of peace, of joy. It is all that is or ever will be, and it is right here, being me and being you. As I bless this offering, what I know is it grows and expands by my loving attention to it. That it is a gift from God, as God, being God, enhancing the vitality, strength, and beauty of this teaching. I know today, too, for every heart that is saddened, for every situation that is a challenge, that love is right here. That the glory of God comes through the moments of true, authentic speech, action, feelings, honoring what is and moving forward, knowing that God has this, that God's got you, that God's got me, that here and now all is well. And in the grand scheme of things, everything is unfolding in harmony with the Universal One. So with a truly grateful heart and filled with love and light, I take these ideas and I release them into the law of mind. I allow the consciousness of the Christ to manifest here and now, and I know all is well. I let this be so, and so it is. And now let us say our closing affirmation, the prayer of protection, and it is on your screen. Together, please. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. And now our closing song today, Voices of Praise and Happy Am I.
One, two, three, four. Happy am I, I'm rich, I'm happy. Happy am I, I'm rich today. Happy am I, I'm rich, I'm happy. Happy am I, I'm rich today. We're rich today. Happy am I. One more time. Happy am I. I'm rich. I'm happy. Happy am I. I'm rich today. Happy am I. I'm rich. I'm happy. Happy am I. I'm rich today. Oh, happy am I. Rich, rich. Oh, happy am I. Rich, rich. Oh, happy am I. I'm rich today.
Oh, thank you, Voices of Praise and Richard Whiteman. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Well, it is that time in our service when we can unmute and join together and have a chat with each other, say good morning. And if you're on